all of you have been coming here for nowadays with a great enthusiasm, with a great interest. And in this trip, in my trip to Malaysia this time, first time, it has been very successful. I'm very impressed of your devotion and your enthusiasm, and especially today, it has been a very productive, meaningful, fruitful day personally for me. Do you know why? Today was the history-making day for Malaysia. Now you're curious, what is this? Do you remember in my previous talks, I was talking about my program in Canada, a mindful and kind nation. So now I have officially introduced Malaysia, a mindful and kind nation, to the Malaysian government, to Education Minister. Now, not only that, before meeting Education Minister, first we had another meeting with another wonderful young fellow who works for Star Rich, and he's the boss of that section. And I think that the Star inform, inspire, innovate. So my job was today to inform, which I did with this program called Vision and Mission Statements and how we do it in Canada. And then inspire. I was able to inspire this young man with this new concept, new knowledge, and then innovate. So now he is going to organize such an event, maybe first the trial event program in near future, and with the support of all the young people, and especially I think next week, April 1st week would be Kindness Week in Malaysia, and I think it goes well with this new program initiated in Malaysia. And when I talked to the Education Minister about this, actually he was very taken by this new concept. I think, of course, sometimes politicians are politicians, and we don't know whether he's going to start this program, but at least we got a young fellow who is so inspired and motivated. Now he's going to try. He gave the word. Now I have the little video clip, thanks to one of devotees of this audience. I think name should not be mentioned, as I was told. And then we were able to go there together with Reverend Sri Dhamma. And I think today is a very productive day for all of us. And if that happens, that means, Malaysia will be going towards the light. So today's topic is going from darkness to light. So the 10 steps. And I see now all of you are very curious about what are these 10 steps. Actually, I recited these 10 steps in Pali. I hope you understood. So now, I think as we are unenlightened people are now called in Pali Putujjana. as Putujana, as ordinary people, unenlightened people, time to time we all live in darkness. Sometimes we allow ourselves to get pulled into this darkness. And once you get pulled into this darkness, sometimes you don't know how to get out of it. And here in the 6th century BCE, Buddha is giving us some practical steps how to pull yourself out of this darkness and to see the light. In a Western philosophy, when we study Greek philosophy, there's a famous Greek philosopher known as Plato. Plato told a story. This is a story about a caveman. This caveman was living inside the cave in darkness, complete darkness for years and years and years and years. And then one day, he saw a little glimpse of light, and then the moment he saw that little glimpse of light, then he became very curious. What is this light? What is this new thing? And then he got drawn towards that direction. As he was going towards that direction, that the tiny light started becoming a kind of bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it led him to outside of the cave. And when he went outside the cave, then he clearly saw everything, because there is a lot of sunshine, there was a lot of sunlight, and it was very bright, and he was able to see everything clearly. And then he did not go back to the cave inside the darkness. So, in the same way, my dear friends, sometimes we live in complete darkness. And what kind of darkness? Maybe problems, maybe physical, maybe emotional, maybe psychological. And we get conditioned by that kind of problem, that kind of darkness. And then sometimes we don't know how to get out of it. Although some people show some light, but since they have become completely conditioned with the darkness, and they don't show even a little interest in that kind of light, or advice from others, the wise people, knowledgeable people, intelligent people, who really care for these people who are living in darkness, to help them get out of this complete darkness. Now, this kind of darkness in Buddha's teachings is called avidya. Avidya. And once we become full of avidya, ignorance, then we don't see the things as they really are. And now, why is that? There's a thing called, in Buddha talked about this. In English, it's called the distorted perception. Distorted perception. In Pali, we say sanya vipallasa. Sanya vipallasa. Distorted perception. Now, what kind of distorted perception is this? What is not permanent people always see them as permanent. What is not beautiful, they always see them as beautiful. And what is not myself, they always see them as myself. So they do this or see in this way. Why? Because of their perception has been distorted. And those who live in avidya, in darkness, this is how they always see the things. What is not permanent, they see them as permanent. What is ugly, they see them as beautiful. What is not myself, they see them as myself, me, myself. So this is the nature of things. And then people, see them as permanent, beautiful, myself, and then they begin to go after such things. They get drawn towards those things, false things. And then they keep chasing such things. And then what happens at the end? They get pulled into darkness. What happens with people, they say, even nowadays. Those who see what is impermanent as permanent, and because of that, they keep thinking, oh, this is permanent, I need this, I don't want it to change. And when things change, then they begin to suffer a lot. They become miserable. Now I know that in Canada I have few friends and students of meditation class. They work at the anti-aging clinics. Do you have anti-aging clinics? Yeah. So, these friends sometimes tell me, Bhante, do you know how much money these people pay for the plastic surgery? And then they are paying like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for this plastic surgery, thinking that they can permanently look beautiful. Those who become obsessed with beauty, and this is what they chase. And then, do you think this plastic surgery could make your look permanently beautiful? Then after 10 years time, 20 years time, again is another struggle. Now you can't do anything. You start looking much uglier than how you used to look. Then they suffer a lot. And it was funny, for the first time, when I went to the United States, there's a state called Arizona. There's a city called Phoenix. So I went there to give some public talk. So I was staying at a friend's house. So in the bathroom, there was a shampoo, a kind of gel, and then it says anti-aging shampoo. So that caught my eyes. Then I thought, oh my goodness, really? So that means if I use this, I'm going to be looking younger? So I used it, okay? I used it because that was the only option I had. There's no other soap, right? So I used it. I looked at myself in the mirror. How do I look? Do I look younger or older? And then after taking a shower, I came out and I went to my friends, the young couple. I said, how do I look now? Do I look younger? They were confused. what are you talking about? He said,